Alright everyone, it finally happened. After years of Whoopi Goldberg pushing aside conservative viewpoints, brushing off guests like they didn't matter, and running The View like it was her personal kingdom, she finally came face to face with someone who stood up to her.
If you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
This wasn't just a debate. It was a public humiliation. Karoline exposed Whoopi's hypocrisy, shut down her arguments, and left the entire panel silent for the first time ever. Now the backlash is off the charts. ABC executives are scrambling. Rumors of major firings are spreading. And Whoopi, she might be done for good. So what exactly did Karoline say that embarrassed Whoopi live on TV? You won't want to miss this. But before we dive in, hit that like button and subscribe for more unfiltered showdowns. Just subscribed? Awesome. Let's get started.
Let's dive in.
Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
The most divisive and disgusting speech that any president, certainly in my lifetime, has ever given. He essentially waged war on half of the country by saying that we are all a threat to democracy because we believe in putting America first. It's not radical to want to put your country and your own people first. It's not radical to want to have a strong border, a strong military, and to unleash the might of your own economy, not economies around the world. You know, we have seen cultural Marxism trickling its way through every institution in this country. The public school system, the higher education university system, Hollywood, big tech, the corrupt mainstream media that I fought against in President Trump's White House are indoctrinating my generation of Americans into hating our country, hating one another based on race and gender and sex, and all of this other BS, quite frankly.
The chaos kicked off when Whoopi, Joy Behar, and the rest of The View tried to lecture Karoline Leavitt on wokeness. And, as usual, things took a sharp turn. Whoopi, with her typical smug look, rolled her eyes, while Joy Behar couldn't resist throwing in one of her biting remarks. But then, Karoline stood her ground. She wasn't backing down. Want me to keep going? Because this is about to get even more intense.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though. It's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
Oh, so now we're judging women based on their looks. The irony couldn't be more obvious. These are the same women who preach about supporting women. Until, of course, the woman happens to be conservative. Then it's all about mocking, belittling, and tearing her down. The hypocrisy? Absolutely unreal. And the best part? They don't even see it. They claim to fight for equality, yet they're the first to attack when someone dares to think differently. It's not about empowering women, it's about controlling them. Want me to keep going? This is getting even hotter.
Do you want to take this?
So, you cannot be attractive and smart? I will try to give Joy the benefit of, well, thank you. I try to give Joy the benefit of the doubt that she didn't see that briefing. Because if you saw that yesterday on numerous topics, no big binder, I think she might have had a different impression of this young woman who held her own.
I mean, you would have to give her the benefit of the doubt that she did absolutely no research or reading about anything dealing with Karoline Leavitt before she made that remark. Because Karoline Leavitt she went to St. Anselm College. She worked for WMUR
Ran for Congress?
In New Hampshire. She ran for Congress at the age of 25. Put out a very good campaign.
Karoline's achievements are off the charts, especially for someone so young. And Whoopi, what has she done lately? Seems like she's just bitter and stuck in the past. Want to keep going or adjust the tone? Interview. But here's where it gets even better. Karoline didn't hesitate, not even for a second. She came, armed with facts, and what happened next left the entire panel completely speechless. Want me to keep going? This is getting wild.
She lost by 8 or 9 points, but she still put on a good campaign. Then she was the press secretary for the Trump campaign, going on TV literally every day.
Well, heavily pregnant and a new mom.
Yeah, she's a new mother. And then she goes out yesterday and gives and this again, this is speaking very objectively, because I've watched every press secretary since going back to Marlon Fitzwater. Yeah, I'm that old. And she went out there for her very first briefing at the age of 27 years old, the youngest press secretary ever, and did a terrific job.
But here's where it gets juicy. Karoline didn't flinch. Not even a...
Now let's see what Whoopi has to say about all this. Honestly, it's nothing worth remembering. But, just to be fair, here it is.
Stutter.
These women are completely out of touch with reality. And you're right, ABC should wake up.
I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Karoline, thank you very much for your time.
Now let's see what Whoopi has to say about all of
ABC executives were scrambling into full damage control mode. For the first time in ages, Whoopi had no response. Joy was left in complete shock. The entire panel, utterly speechless. But Karoline, she wasn't backing down. She came back even stronger. You can roll your eyes all you want, Whoopi, but the truth doesn't change. The real reason you're upset is that people like me are proving your narrative is falling apart. Boom, mic drop. The View, exposed. Social media, exploding. And ABC, well, what happened next was bigger than anyone anticipated.
So good. In a statement afterwards, this young lady claimed her, quote, on-air snub proves that you-know-who will not be treated fairly in the upcoming debate. Now, do you think this is going to make people doubt whether CNN can stay objective, or is this more the same of, everybody's against me, it's all rigged, I tell you. Is everything rigged?
No, it's their MO. That's what they do. Rachel Maddow said last week, she's like, if the election is lost, it was rigged. If there's a debate, then the moderators are probably biased and they're prejudiced against me.
ABC executives were in shock. Reports surfaced that producers were furious with Whoopi. Sponsors were starting to get nervous, and even longtime fans of The View were beginning to turn against her. Then, the real bombshell hit. Whoopi Goldberg was suddenly absent from the next episode. And ABC's official statement, Whoopi is taking time to reflect on recent discussions. Yeah, we all know what that really means. Whoopi Goldberg, the face of The View, was on thin ice. But the fallout didn't stop there. At this point, it's clear. ABC has a tough decision to make. Do they finally shake things up and bring real balance to The View? Or do they keep digging in, risking total cancellation? Let's be honest, this show thrives on controversy. But when the backlash outweighs the ratings boost, it's game over, right? Now, ABC is walking a tightrope. Advertisers are pulling back. Their credibility is on the line, and viewers are tuning out. The View might finally be on its last legs. Could Karoline Leavitt have just delivered the final nail in the coffin? Now, it's your turn. Was this the most epic takedown in The View's history? Did Whoopi finally go too far? Should she be fired? And the biggest question, could this really be the end of The View? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And before you go, smash that like button and subscribe so you never miss a breaking update or an uncensored showdown.